I do want to talk a little bit about content before I get to business pages, because when we talk about content and what you post and how often you post is going to apply to your personal profile and your business page. So I want you to think of your profile in terms of an editorial plan. Um, and how often do you plan on posting? And be realistic with yourself, because if you're going to really use this tool, if you're going to start connecting with people, one of the first things I do when you send me a LinkedIn connection is before I accept it, I look at your profile. And there's a lot of back and forth on like how you send invitations. I'll get into that in a minute, but just think about that. So if you're before you're ready, for those of you who are in that, no, that's why I'm here. I'm familiar, but I'm not really active. If you're really going to do this, before you start expanding your network, you really want to think about this, because here's the thing. This is a trade show floor in this way. Like, people want to talk to you. They want to learn about you. And if you're not saying anything or commenting, then you're not going to see outcomes and returns. My husband told me, like, he lost his job. I think it was like, at this point, it was like over a year ago. And as soon as he did, I was like, "All right, have you been active on LinkedIn?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Get active." And his new job that he has, he got from LinkedIn, because I got him to think about this and post. So thinking through that, you want to think to create a strategy and lay this out like a month ahead. That's why I like to think about the editorial plan. So, like, as a small business, but also I focus in certain markets, specifically in lots of area of retail. Think about the holidays. So if you're in a particular area and you're trying to use LinkedIn to focus on that, think about it just like you'd lay out any editorial content plan. Look at what's coming, look at what's happening, where can you jump on things. Then think of content strategy. So this is an example. It is not mine. Everyone has their own, but I really liked this one. So I like to give props to other people because I thought this is really cool. I think I did this in without realizing I was doing it. Then I do this a lot with our retail clients on Facebook and Instagram. Think about like what you post, your formula. So this is your formula, right? Tactical content, tips, tricks, best practice, things that show your subject matter expertise. Aspirational content, how your work impacts your world around you. Insightful elements, comments on industry trends or audience focused topics. And then personal anecdotes, learnings, hobbies, all sorts of things like this. You have to find what works for you. But this is a good place to start. For those of you who struggle, because that's one of the most common things I get with any content posting, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook, is I just don't know what to post. Sometimes you just need to hold on to things. So, like with one of my retail clients, outside of LinkedIn, I was like, well, what are your brand values? Do a value post once a week. Do a behind the scenes post, do a product post. So think of this in terms, again, that strategy, but this is a great place to give you information. Other things that may be helpful is if you're someone who wants to lean into some elements of controversy, you might put those things on here too, because if you're looking to build your brand of you and that's an angle, you may want to think about that.